What if two NBA stars, each struggling in their own way, suddenly found themselves thrown together and ended up saving each other? The Warriors were falling apart, their dynasty crumbling before their eyes.
Their best player got older. They let their other great player go, and they just in trouble right now.
Warriors are the first team ever to begin a season 12-3 or better, and then have a record below 500 later in the season.
Meanwhile, Jimmy Butler was stuck, needing a fresh start and running out of options. Then, in a shocking mid-season trade, their paths collided.
The Miami Heat are finalizing a deal to send Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors.
The result was a complete game changer. This is the story, how two players with totally different styles rescued each other's seasons and turned chaos into something unstoppable. How did they make it work? What did the numbers reveal about their impact? And how could this unexpected partnership shake up the entire NBA? But to understand how this shocking mid-season trade changed everything, we first have to look at how the NBA itself has evolved, and why the Warriors were even in this position to begin with. Over the last 15 years, the NBA has gone through some of the most dramatic shifts in how the game is played. And no player has been more responsible for that change than Steph and Curry.
We've never seen that before.
He's the fucking problem. Steph is most dangerous when he doesn't have the ball.
From the moment he entered the league, Curry and the Warriors dynasty reshaped basketball, pushing the pace to new levels and making the three-pointer the most dominant weapon in the game. Curry isn't just one of the best point guards of all time, he's the most excellent shooter the sport has ever seen.
He's one of the greatest players and is clearly the greatest shooter God has ever created.
His success forced the entire league to rethink its strategy, and teams scrambled to adjust. Every front office, every coach, and every player had to ask themselves, adapt or fall behind. But as the NBA changed to keep up with Curry, the Warriors started facing new challenges of their own. On the other hand, Jimmy Butler is built differently. He's known for his relentless intensity, his no-nonsense attitude, and his ability to step up when the lights are brightest. When the playoffs come around, Butler doesn't just play, he dominates.
What do you think that is, Pete? Some cats is built for the lights. You know who, when you said that, you know the first person that came to mind? Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy Butler.
Hey, I'm calling him playoff buckets.
He's led the Miami Heat to 2 NBA Finals appearances, 2020 and 2023, proving, time and time again, that he thrives under pressure. His resume speaks for itself. 6-time NBA All-Star, 5-time All-NBA selection, 5-time All-Defensive Team member, and an Olympic gold medalist in 2016. But while Butler and Curry are both superstars, their styles couldn't be more different. Curry's game is built on finesse, deadly shooting, creating space, and warping defenses just by stepping onto the court. Butler, on the other hand, is pure grit. He attacks the basket, absorbs contact, and forces his way to the free throw line. One plays with skillful precision, the other with brute force. And yet, somehow, one mid-season trade brought these two completely different stars together and changed everything. How did a sharpshooting legend and a gritty, hard-nosed competitor manage to save each other's seasons? And more importantly, how did they transform a team that looked like it was falling apart? The Golden State Warriors were in trouble. Halfway through the season, their defense was crumbling, their offense had stalled, and their once-feared dynasty was slipping away. Even Steph Curry, the face of Warriors basketball, wasn't safe from criticism. Some questioned whether he belonged among the league's elite after being named an All-Star.
Look, I'm gonna say the quiet thing out loud. Steph Curry should not be an All-Star.
While others wondered if his best days were behind him. Without a reliable secondary playmaker and an inconsistent bench, Golden State's playoff hopes were fading fast. The team needed help, badly. They needed another superstar to take the pressure off Curry, someone who could give them a real shot at a championship alongside Draymond Green. That's when they made their move, trading for Jimmy Butler. At first, Warriors fans weren't sure what to expect. Could Butler, with his rugged, no-nonsense playing style, really fit into Golden State's fast-paced, three-point heavy system? But as it turned out, the Warriors needed Butler more than they ever realized. Before the trade, they were on a disastrous -90 in games where Curry wasn't on the floor. Since Butler's arrival, they've gone 12-1, rocketing up to 6th place in the Western Conference and positioning themselves for a direct playoff spot. Butler didn't just bring toughness, he became the number 2 scoring threat the Warriors had been searching for. Curry's numbers shot up to 29.4 points per game since Butler joined the squad, and Butler himself made it clear why he wanted out of Miami. He wanted to be valued. He wanted a team that saw his worth. And when Curry and Draymond Green texted Butler at halftime during a game against Utah, Welcoming him to the squad, he knew he finally found what he was looking for, a team that genuinely valued him. But not everyone was convinced. When the trade was finalized, skeptics questioned whether Butler could genuinely fit in with Curry and Green. Butler wasted no time proving he belonged, seamlessly adjusting to the team's flow and breathing life back into Golden State's fading championship hopes. And if there was any uncertainty in Butler's mind, it vanished the moment Curry and Green reached out to him. By the time he made his Warriors debut on February 8th, Butler hadn't played in weeks, but you wouldn't have known it from the way he took over the court. He dropped 25 points on an efficient 7 of 12 shooting, adding 4 assists, 2 rebounds, a steal, and a block in a dominant 132-111 victory. From that point on, the Warriors caught fire. With Butler in the lineup, they went an astonishing 13-11, emerging not just as a Western Conference threat, but as one of the most dangerous teams in the league.
I'm sorry. I said I think we're going to win a championship, but I lied. We are going to win the championship. Wow.
And then there was Curry. Since Butler's arrival, he's been playing out of his mind, shooting a ridiculous 71% actual shooting percentage. The Warriors' biggest weakness fell apart of when Curry vanished overnight. In the 6 games since Butler joined, Golden State has plus 30 with Curry off the floor, a complete turnaround from their earlier struggles. But the real shocker? Curry's individual numbers skyrocketed. Before the trade, he was averaging 22 points per game on shooting splits 43, 38, 94. After Butler's arrival, he exploded to 30.4 points per game with an elite 51, 42, 90 efficiency. And as if to cement his dominance, Curry just made his 4,000th three-pointer, adding yet another historic milestone to his legacy.
About 3, he'll put up a 3. There it is!
But this wasn't just about Curry scoring more. It was about how Butler's presence transformed the entire Warriors lineup. Golden State's most significant problem had been surviving the minutes when Curry sat, and Butler changed that instantly. His presence stabilized the bench, gave the Warriors much-needed offensive versatility, and created better scoring options for Curry, making the team more efficient overall. But Butler wasn't just a scoring threat. He was the secondary playmaker the Warriors had been desperate for. By taking some of the offensive burden off Curry, Butler forced defenses to adjust, opening up 4-on-4 situations and forcing teams to respect multiple threats. And with his relentless driving ability, Butler averaged 9.2 free throw attempts per game, throwing opposing defenses into chaos and disrupting their rhythm. But this wasn't just a one-sided rescue mission. Butler didn't just save the Warriors, he saved Curry's season.
He is our leader, and we must protect him.
He lightened the defensive pressure on Steph, gave him a reliable second scorer, and silenced critics who were starting to question whether Curry still had it in him. At the same time, Curry gave Butler something just as valuable: the perfect offensive system in which to thrive. For the first time in a long time, Butler was in a place where he could be himself, and in doing so, he became the best version of himself.
He's dominating the paint, I'm dominating the outside and the perimeter.
The Warriors have been on an absolute tear since trading for Butler, making it easy to forget that at first the move wasn't exactly met with cheers. When rumors of a potential deal surfaced, they sparked more concern than excitement. The biggest question? Whether Curry even wanted Butler in the locker room. Multiple reports suggested that Steph had his doubts about how Butler could fit with the team's culture. At first, he avoided directly addressing those concerns, but later admitted when the trade went down, his initial reaction wasn't joy, it was frustration. The reason? Golden State had to part ways with Andrew Wiggins to make the deal happen. For Curry, losing a key teammate who had been part of their championship journey wasn't easy. But if there was any lingering disappointment, it disappeared the moment Butler stepped on the court. "You can see it's helped me and Draymond," Curry said, reflecting on the trade. "But I think it's helped everybody else even more, because he makes guys around him better. And he does it so naturally." It may still be early, but there's no denying it. The trade had been a win-win for both Butler and the Warriors. For Butler, this is a golden opportunity. After leading the Miami Heat to 2 NBA Finals in 6 seasons, but falling short both times, he's still chasing that elusive championship. And there's no better place for him to take another shot at it than Golden State. With Curry and Butler running the show, the Warriors season has taken a complete turn. But the bigger picture is, what does this mean for their future? First, it's huge for their playoff hopes. Since Butler's arrival, the Warriors have climbed the standings, positioning themselves for a deep postseason run. If they keep up this momentum, they won't just be a tough matchup, they'll be legitimate title contenders. Another essential factor comes with Jonathan Kuminga's development. With Jimmy bringing stability and Curry drawing defenders away, Kuminga has a prime opportunity to evolve into a serious two-way force. If he takes that next step, the Warriors' depth will be even scarier. Golden State made a bold move by bringing in Butler, and judging by the results so far, it looks like they just might have pulled off one of the most impactful trades in recent memory. But as incredible as this turnaround has been, the real test is still ahead. The NBA playoffs are a different beast, where legends are made and only the strongest survive. Butler and Curry have shown they can complement each other in the regular season, but can they carry this momentum into the postseason? Can Butler finally capture that elusive championship? And can Curry prove that the Warriors dynasty isn't done just yet?